As a matter of fact, I'm on such a fast mode this evening that after the show started and there was that lull between the show and the first message, that recording, I thought, oh, will it ever go on? So I felt kind of awkward. Well, welcome to Healing to Happiness. This show goes on for approximately an hour, and it happens again on Wednesdays. Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, Blog Talk Radio can be heard anywhere in the world. So everybody from around the world, welcome to the show. I will focus on mediumship or other side connections the first 30 minutes or so. And then after that, a mix of healing and messages, psychic messages. And I tend to focus in on empowerment type of messages versus fortune telling. Just as a quick aside, let you know what to expect here. And I also ask that you get your questions ready, and please don't give me background, or even for mediumship connections, don't give me background, because Spirit is supposed to be bringing you the answers, and I don't want to be influenced. Let's see what else. I have been doing some ideal weight, ideal health consultations lately, and I offer that to you at a 25% discount as far as I'm concerned, and what I've learned as a certified lean health coach, which is something I am as well, that many different life-threatening diseases come from carrying extra weight on our body. And interestingly enough, extra weight on our body comes from toxicity. So it's all kind of goes hand in hand. And an interesting thing happened to me when I wanted to improve my energy. If any of you have been listening to this radio show for a couple of years, you might have noticed that my energy is getting better these days, whereas before I was like, I couldn't keep my eyes open. Like for it was 2014 or 2013, I coughed on and off for many months, and it took a long while for me to bring back my health. And one of the things I did was improve my diet, and the interesting byproduct was I lost 10 pounds of weight I didn't think was possible to lose. And since then, I've discovered why. In any event, if you'd like an ideal weight, ideal health, and ideal wealth consultation, you can get a 25% discount by clicking on the link for this radio show, which is the website for this radio show is spiritmediumtv.com. That's spiritmediumtv.com. And everything I say from here on is, besides your readings, of course, is on that page, spiritmediumtv.com. So if you don't hear what I said, or I'm going a little too fast, just go back to, you got it, spiritmediumtv.com. So if you'd like to get a reading, the phone number is area code 347-945-5849. That's area code 347-945-5849. The schedule is Mondays at 7 p.m. and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. I already said that. You can watch me in front of a camera doing the show live at Spirit Medium TV. You just have to go down the page a bit, and you know where to listen to it because you're listening now. If you'd like to win a session with me, a psychic session, just join my mailing list at spiritmediumtv.com. It's a monthly contest, and all you're competing with are those individuals that join my mailing list during the month we're in. I also offer a 25% off discount for all listeners of this radio show. For example, if you order 30 minutes, you'll get 10 extra minutes, meaning you pay for 30, you get 40 minutes. And that's a 25% discount. Just go to spiritmediumtv.com, scroll down the page, and you'll see that offer and how to get it. Oh, and if you want to jump to the top of the queue to receive a reading, I do have a donation system in place, which allows you to do that, as I rarely can get to everybody waiting. This is a very popular show. It's called the 8 No Wait. So if you have an urgent matter that just can't wait, donate 8 and jump the gate. The donation form is on spiritmediumtv.com. I do a monthly trance circle, live and in person. I also am having a class on life purpose in September. Just go to events. My event link is at spiritmediumtv.com. And so I'd like everybody listening to now Oh, no, I was going to do something general because Donna, who's listening, one of our regular listeners, hello, Donna, asked me when I pre-interviewed her right before the show, she asked me if I would say something about the stock market. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know, I don't mean to sound, oh gosh, I don't like it when psychics make predictions like that. It just sounds really corny to me. Oh, I predict this or that. I don't know. I really don't like that. I just try to, I keep everything I do very ethical and very real. And that to me always sounds a little too, it just sounds gypsy-like. So I don't make those kind of predictions. But I do respect those who can and do. I'll leave it to them. It's not what I do. But if you want me to say something about the stock market, I do like to invest, and I do follow financial news regularly. And from what I've heard from quote-unquote industry experts, they're all saying that this is going to continue for a while, this downward fall of the market. I mean, don't forget, we've had an upward market for 4 years, and with very low volatility, everything is still going in the same direction. So the word is that this will continue, and I'm not in a position to give you any kind of financial advice. I'm just repeating what I've heard through the experts, and of course advise you to find your expert out there, wherever it may be, or he or she, and ask for advice. Okay, I might as well say one other thing. I do trade. I go long and short the market, and I am now short the market. So I guess if you want a private session with me, I could tell you what I do, but it's very complicated. So I don't advise you to do that. Okay, so I'd like everybody listening to uncross your arms and legs and start to focus on your breath from your abdominal area. Allowing yourself to let go and get very, very relaxed. Very relaxed. Very grateful. Being told to tell everybody out there to be grateful that you're alive on Earth, and that this time on Earth is just as important as any other time that you will experience in three-dimensional worlds and other dimensional existences. It's just as important here. So if you think, or any of you are thinking, I don't like it on Earth, Spirit is saying to be grateful. So relax, breathe, start to focus on what you need Spirit to give you today. If it's an other side connection, please call in your loved ones from the other side. If it's a healing, please ask that you receive the healing needed. If it's an answer to a question about your own life, please ask that that question be answered now, and focus on your issues. As you do that, I will invoke the prayer. I will be back in a second. Please invoke all requests made earlier today in the Master Prayer for this radio show now. And so it is. And so what I'd like you all to do is, on the next exhale of breath, to release into your space your energy. And I will connect all of us. One moment, please. Two or three things come in right now. One of them is a lot of creativities in the audience. There's also a lot of you are dealing with karmic issues, meaning from other lifetimes and soul contracts. So those are systemic issues. And is there anything else? I feel a lot of people in the audience today feel like they're in a cycle that doesn't ever go away. And so just keep in mind that cycles do change eventually, particularly with positive thought, positive thinking, prayer, and belief that they can change. And don't get yourself down from that. Maybe the channeling I'm about to do will address some of that. One moment, please. I'm going to call in the ones, the guides. And I don't know if, I have mentioned it once or twice, but I recently discovered that my master guide, who I've been channeling for years, who I called Ola, And then I was trying to figure out who was Ola when I first started doing this over 30 years ago. And then the word Loyola came out of my mouth. And then I found out that is St. Ignatius Loyola. And oddly enough, I just found out recently that John of God from Brazil, famed healer, spiritual healer from Brazil, his master guide is St. Ignatius Loyola. And maybe that's why I don't like to make predictions and all that, because I'm more of a healer with psychic skills than just a psychic predictor, I guess, of events. I try to get at causes, and I try to empower you and shift your energy and show you how to create your future. And I also believe that the only events that are truly locked in time or more predictable are world events than individual events. Because you as an individual have much available to you to shift things. Okay. So I'm going to bring in the guides. 1 second, please. We are here. We are the ones, indeed. And we are led in part by Ola and others in our group. We are a soul group of healers, but we are also a soul group of people, souls that help you on earth. Each and every one of you always has problems and issues. It is part of being on earth. Many of you think that if you were not on earth, that you would have no problems, that you would be in a blissful place and all things would be taken care of. We would like to remind all of you that consciousness is the now, and that consciousness will follow you from here to any other world that you would exist in. And so it is important to nurse and to cultivate your consciousness while you still remain on earth, for your consciousness is who you are, not anything else. And everything in your life is a reflection of how you think, what your consciousness is. One interesting and very simple way to shift consciousness, to move yourself from suffering to flourishing, is to look at your level of love. Not only self-love, of which we have been speaking about a lot through Spirit Medium Laura, but today we would like to talk about love you give to others, casting love outward. Who or what do you nurture in your day-to-day life? Usually, those that are able to give love have already given themselves love. So if you are unable to express love to others, that is a symbol or sign that you need to start loving yourself. And then in turn, cast that out towards others, project it out. As you give, so you will receive. As you receive, so you will give. It is an infinite exchange, and one that is very accessible to all of you. So if you are not receiving enough in life, you are not giving enough. And in turn, if you are not giving enough, you will not be receiving enough. So we suggest to you, one of the first things you can do after the show is finished is think about areas in your life that you can be giving more to others and see what happens next. We believe that you will start receiving more as an immediate reaction to that. Namaste. Okay, so I'm going to go now to the first person waiting for an other side connection. And that would be Trudy. There may be others. I just didn't speak to them before. And so Trudy is right there. Hello, Trudy. How are you this evening, darling?
I'm all right, honey. How are you?
I'm good. You sound like you're from Long Island, even though you have a 561 area code. Do you come from the Northeast originally, honey?
Philadelphia.
Philly? Oh,
Philadelphia.
okay. You got that northeastern tone. Okay, so let's see who is there in spirit for you. First thing I did feel was a mother figure for you was around you. Okay, there's a lot of, first of all, I see short hair, a good, not real short, a little bit of like a medium hairstyle. She's got her mouth is open. She must like to talk a lot. She looks like she's about to say something right now. whoever this mother figure is. And her hair's on the lighter side in the picture that she's giving me of herself. She's wearing lipstick, and that means that she probably like to take care of herself. Her hair in this picture looks like it's on the blonder side or the lighter side, although I feel from her skin tone, because her skin tone looks a little bit more olive in complexion, that she might have dyed it or it just went white at the end. So I can't really tell, except that I got a lighter hair color there, and it's kind of medium to shorter length. It's layered. It's got a nice little wave to it, and she's wearing lipstick and she's got her mouth open. She also has a little bit of darkness under the eyes, which some people have a little bit more pigmentation under their eyes, and she has that kind of pigmentation, if you will. She's also surrounded by roses, okay? And it's an interesting thing, because the roses to me mean, she's giving me some other information while I'm looking at the roses. She says that the roses mean love and concern for your health, she says. Roses and love for you. We're probably going to get into a personal message in a moment, but I need to develop you first, Mommy, a little bit more. Okay. There's a name that pops in, like it's an M name, like a Monique or a Mary, but it sounds like Monique or something like that. And there may be somebody in your family like that, or that might be your mother's name. I'm not sure who that is. And I'm not going to. Do you recognize that name off the top of your head, Trudy?
My mother's name is Mildred, but I just lost your friend Mona.
There you go. Okay, so that's what she did when she gave me her. She gave me the M name, M-O-N, but I wasn't, so it's like she killed
Mona.
Okay. Well,
Mona.
All right. Well, she's letting you know. I don't know if Mona is the one I'm visualizing right now or seeing either. So we need to be very careful with this. Okay. So I see a mouth that's open and wanting to talk. It's round. It almost looks like rosebud lips. And then she's, some people have a mouth that's very curvaceous and round, like rosebuds. But hers is open. She likes to talk. She's got a stronger nose. This woman, a little bit of a hook to it, but not obtrusive or anything. Just a straighter nose. And a little bit more pointed at the tip with flaring nostrils, if you will. She has more of an arch to her eyebrows. And as I mentioned, a little pigmentation under there. The roses are above her. They're yellow roses. Yellow roses stand for wisdom and love from mother. Okay, back to mother. And I also hear, so I don't know if this is Mona or if this is your mother's name. You said it was Mildred, or who this is just yet.
Mildred. My mother's name was Mildred.
Well, you told me that. Okay, you just said that a moment ago, okay? But I don't know who it is who's showing yet. I'm trying to build the character, okay? That's what I mean. I see the neck. I see a lot of skin hanging in the neck, but and a little bit of it looks like a little bit of a turkey neck, but not a lot of fat on her, whoever this is. Not fat, at least from the neck up. There's loose skin in the neck area. I also hear heart problems for this person. Now, did your mother have any heart problems, please? Or did Mona have?
Yes.
Your mother did, okay. Because when I was...
my mother.
Okay, because I was looking at the roses, and I was going to tell you what the roses meant from Mom's perspective. Instead of her telling me what the roses meant, she said, heart problems. She kind of whispered it to me. So that's why I laughed before. You'll listen to this again. You'll laugh a little bit with me. I think I have Mom here. Now, the description again, petite, I didn't say this, petite, and I don't see her very overweight. I do see some extra weight in the midsection. I don't see her very overweight. I also think she might have had a problem with one of her breasts at some point in her life, even though she's saying heart problems is the thing that took her. Do you remember anything with Mom's breast, please? Or was that
No.
Was that Mona?
No, not her breast.
Did Mona have a problem with her breast? Because I might have composite.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, when I look at your mother's chest, okay, something going on with the left breast area, and maybe that's just to show me the heart, but she might have had something there. I don't know what it is. Okay, I'll just leave that with you. And I also hear that she has a son, meaning that you have a brother. Do you have a brother, please?
I have a son.
You have the son. Okay, it goes down the line then. All right, you have the son.
I don't have a brother. I have a son.
Yeah, that's fine. So that's her son. It's her grandson. Thank you thank you for reckoning. Yeah, and then she has her hair. It looks lighter. It's more of a medium to short. It's got a little bit of wave to it, and I see it's soft. It's gentle. It's delicate. Now, so her face, the way I described it, I'll give you a little more right now. Stronger nose. no bump on it, straight, flaring nostrils, narrow bridge. Do you remember Mom's nose like that, please? Yes or no?
Not really. I can't recall, but the hair was light.
The hair was light, okay. You just don't.
She let it go natural.
She let it go natural, okay. She now shows me herself from 3/4 view of her face, and she has very kind eyes, very sweet eyes. Again, she's wearing a lipstick in this particular image.
Always.
Okay. And yeah, she likes her lipstick, and she has a little bit of darkness under the eyes, just a little bit, you know what I mean? And I'll just say, in case you don't remember, her nose to me looks straight, okay? And it's a nice looking nose. All right, kind, gentle, concern for others, good care of herself, and all. Okay, she's talking a little bit about herself as being a person who liked to take care of herself, and you and everybody else. Good care, health. Like she liked to eat wholesome foods. She liked to take a walk every day when she was able to, and wholesome common sense to body care as well as life care. Stable personality, stable spending habits, very balanced kind of personality is what she's showing me about herself. She says you're very much like her as well, and she says she loves you very much. She sends you, again, she says, roses for your health. Roses for your health. Now, that's the second time she said this, and it would suggest to me that maybe she's trying to say something, a personal message, and maybe it was something you wanted to ask. Are you having a health concern these days, Trudy?
Depression.
Depression. Oh, all right.
Very bad depression.
All right. Well, that's your health. Okay. So let's just go. May I say a message about that? Because she wants to give you a personal message about that. She says,
sure.
Okay, Mom, come on in, honey, Mildred. You will get better, honey, very soon. The loss will be over. You'll get over your loss, and you will find a new beginning for yourself soon. There's someone new coming into your life. I know it's a little soon to talk about this, but soon all of that will be behind you, and there will be a new beginning, a new person coming in to companion you and be with you and share your beautiful life with you. She says, I'm helping from the other side to make this happen, and I love you so very much. And she runs over to you now and gives you a big a big kiss, and a big hug. There's a new word I just made, hick, for kiss and hug. She gives you a big hug. She's short, she reminds me a little bit of my mom, right? When my mother would do that, sometimes run over to me, and her legs would move real fast because she was smaller, petite. The legs are kind of shuffling. She'd grab you and she'd hug you. Well, your mother just did the same thing to you. She says, I love you with all my heart. She says, take care of yourself and don't worry about me. I'm going to be just fine. Okay, Trudy, honey? All right, honey. God bless, sweetheart, and thank you so much for calling into the show.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, honey. Bye-bye. Okay. I always get a little emotional. The souls, they affect me that way. I guess it's part of clairsentience. Okay, let me see if there's anybody else waiting for. Thank you, Trudy, for calling in. Let me see if there's anybody else waiting for another side connection. If not, I will go. Kita, I didn't know that you want an other side connection. Oh, because I have down here life question. Let me just see something if there's anybody else going on here with something. I'm going to go to Melissa, who wants an other side, and then I'll come to you, Kita. Melissa, how are you, honey?
Hey, good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, love. I'm doing good. I just need to break the connection from the last call. That was a very strong connection. Very powerful connection. Okay. Now, Melissa, you're having some trouble with your health as well, I'm understanding. And I also feel that I have a mother figure here for you. It could be, from second generation, first generation. I also hear this person has been gone for some time, and that you may not really be thinking of her versus someone else. This is kind of what I'm getting. Let me just, I'm going to feel your aura a little bit and see. This is from Melissa 305. Is this Melissa? My Melissa?
Yes.
Everybody, this is Melissa, a regular client of mine, and I just realized, oh, Grandma, we brought in, oh my God, did Grandma pass?
No. My father's mother did a long time ago.
Oh, okay, that Grandma. Oh, okay.
It's called Nana.
Nana, okay. Okay, so that's probably who I've got here for you, and she passed a long time ago. Is that who you're wanting me? Is that who you're wanting me to bring in, sweetheart? Or?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking my dad or her, or my Nana. Yeah.
Your dad doesn't want to come in right now. He's very stubborn, and he also says very selective in who he'll talk to. Particularly through a medium. He says on Earth he was that way, but now that he's in spirit, he's certainly not going to talk through me, Laura, that medium. So that's kind of interesting. I guess Dad was a little bit difficult.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I know. And I do feel, okay, he is kind of giving me some information, even though he's being a little bit persnickety right now, or a little bit difficult, resistant. But he's really also jousting a little bit with me because he's starting to give me information. And one of the things I am getting is a feeling of wasting away, that he would have had cancer. Do you understand Dad died of cancer, please?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. He said he says he also had a bout of pneumonia too for a while, or I guess I can move that back one level of saying must have been some respiratory issues that went along with this to begin with, but then it was determined that he had cancer. Is that correct, please?
Yes, he had lung cancer.
Okay. And I think that they thought it was pneumonia at first, or that might have been the reason that it was diagnosed, because he actually said that just a moment ago. Do you remember that, please?
That's possible.
Okay. He says they screwed around with my health a lot, and the diagnosis wasn't made correct immediately. For a long while, nobody really knew what was going on. He says I was out of breath a lot, and I wasn't feeling good for some time before it was diagnosed. He says you're not as privy to that as your mother is, and you can ask her if you'd like. She'll tell you that's the case. So if you don't have that evidence to validate right now, it's something to go back and look into later on. Okay, now they're talking about your health, and that came in first right at the beginning. Dad wants to talk about it now. Now, I have no idea. Hold on, Dad. First, I'd like you to give me, Dad, a few more pieces of evidence, love, and then we will go to the personal message from Melissa, okay? Now, I see a man that's tall. Of course, you're tall, but he has dark hair. It's his original color. Okay, Dad did all right, because you're more light and fair than that, and also there's a little bit of a wave there. He's very handsome. Of course, you're a beautiful woman. He's giving me straight nose, high cheekbones. You know, kind of like what do they call that? Oh, a Ken doll. You know, he's got those regular features. He's saying that. He's laughing too. He also shows me good with his hands, good to do work around the house, very handy, highly intelligent, good person, and a charming individual. But he says he loved to work with his hands more than anything else. And he says it was because it calmed his mind and he didn't have to think about anything. It was simply building something. And he really liked to build things. Do you remember that about Dad, please?
Yes.
He also shows me something about water and boating, or there's something with boating and him liking boats. Does that ring a bell for you, please?
Yes.
Okay, boats were very important to him. He's very particular about his craft. When he uses the word craft, he means a kind of boat that has it in the name. So he might have had a boat at some point. Do you know that he had a boat, please?
He did have boats at various times. I wasn't really... I wasn't around at those times.
Okay. Well, he uses the word craft because that's a name of some kind of boat. And I know that because Friday night I met a man, he was talking about his boat, and there's a name for it with a craft in it. So that's your father's using, your father knows boats, and he knows I have that in my mind, so he uses that. Thank you, Dad. He says, you're very smart, Melissa. He says, don't let anybody get in your way. He says, you're very charming like me as well. There is something now he does want to tell you, because we're giving you a lot of evidence. Okay, wait a minute. What's this all about? What's this kid? There's a kid. There's a little boy. Now, I don't know about your family members. Do you have a brother who's younger than you, honey?
Yes.
Okay. Is he in spirit?
1 year younger.
He's not in spirit, no. Is he? Okay, he's on Earth. All right. I can't tell what that's. Okay, I think he was just trying to show me your brother, that you have a brother. I didn't know that, or if we talked about it was a long time ago. Dad, if you want to give Melissa a personal message, you may do so now, because you've given us a lot of information about you. And also, he shows me blue eyes. Did he have
me?
That's you? Okay, because it wasn't. No. You have them. Okay. All right. He says, your blue eyes are magnificent, my loving daughter, my beautiful daughter. He says, I'm sorry that I got in your way growing up. You have overcome many of the obstacles that I inadvertently put there before you. You're very charming. You're very graceful in your life and in your work, and very kind and good-willed. I appreciate that about you, and I'm so very, very proud of you. You're a very loving and kind individual. You do need to get on with your health now and start doing new things that will open up new doors for you. Now, Dad, do you mean health or wealth? What do you mean by that, honey? Because you said health a few times, and maybe I'm misunderstanding the word, Dad. Hold on, honey. Health or wealth, love? Dad, health. You have health issues. Now, do you have any health? Okay, he's giving me some ideas that you have some health issues that you might have explored already, or that you should explore. Let me just see what they are, honey, okay? You have something going on that reminds me, Dad is showing me autoimmune.
Okay.
Okay, have you checked that out, honey?
I suspect.
Yes, he's telling me you have an autoimmune disorder that you need to look into and stop putting it off. Okay, so it's interfering with everything, including wealth and every other factor in your life. He says, don't put it off anymore. Go ahead and look into it. You will be able to take care of it and moderate it. He doesn't say it can be cured, but he does say you'll be able to manage it, and it will help you in terms of being more productive in the rest of your life and less jumpy. You'll be able to focus and concentrate more, and your energy level will be better. Once you discover this, it's going to open up a whole new world for you of health, nutrition, and taking care of yourself. He says, I love you very much, and that's my message for you today. Namaste.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think he was just being kind of a smartass with you in the beginning, because he was like that.
Yeah, he was just showing me his personality. Very clever. So do what you can do, honey, about your health, because that came in the first thing. All right, honey?
Okay, well, thank you, and bless you, and hi, Dad, and thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, love. Thank you. Bye-bye. Ciao. Bye. Bye. Okay, I'm now going to go to Kita, who changed her mind. There she is. But you can do your life question, honey, if you prefer that now, honey. I think you have a question about love, sweetheart, or do you prefer me doing another side connection? Kita.
No, I never said love. I never said love, but other side would be awesome.
You really want other side? Because didn't I speak to you earlier?
Yeah, but it was never love. It was never love.
Okay. No, I just felt love right now, honey. But I thought you said life question earlier when I spoke to you. That you had a life question.
I said life question, but if I could connect with the other side, that's fine too.
Well, the reason I'm trying to push you towards the life question is because that's what you originally said, and because I want to switch to life readings now. I need to take a little break from the other side. It's kind of intense. So I'm giving you, I will do other side if you prefer that. Not a problem, but I'm also, okay. Well, there is a woman that stands here before me, and she is heavier in her build, okay? Heavier in her build. She's a kind and loving woman, and she's older. She has salt and pepper kind of hair. She's wearing a dress, is black background, floral print. She's strong in the midsection, thick, but she's got a stockierness looking to her body, like more of a thick midsection. And her hair is mid-length, but it's kind of coiffed and carefully combed and placed a little bit back off the face. She also might have liked to wear wigs every now and then, because all of a sudden the salt and pepper changed to something that looks like a wig, black hair. She has intense eyes, a straight nose, and in the vision she's giving me, we're going back and forth a little bit in terms of age. So once, when I first saw her, she looked older because of the salt and pepper hair, and then all of a sudden, maybe it's a different person. Okay, but all of a sudden I see a face, darker skin to medium complexion, straight nose, flared nostrils, intense eyes, a little bit of darkness under the eyes, but doesn't look that old. Nice smooth skin, wearing this black wig that has bangs and then stops just under the ear above the shoulders. Now, from what I'm saying, honey, do you recognize any of these faces or things I'm saying?
Yeah, sounds like my mom. Like it could be my mom.
Oh, at two different times in her life then. Okay. Actually, she says to me, she says I had good skin most of my life. She says it didn't really change much towards the end. She says I was always a good-looking woman. And she says she aged slowly, not fast. So the last picture with the black wig, there is a little bit of wrinkling going on around the eyes, but it's not a lot. Her skin's pretty good in general, really smooth, and nice creamy looking complexion. She's a loving person, kind person, giving person, loved to cook. She was very giving, but she also gives me another word of gifted. What do you mean, honey? Mom. Gifted with my time. I gave of my time. I gave of my time as best I could to those in the family. She's very family oriented, and she says there's nothing like family. Nothing like family, Kita. Families first. Families first. And she says, that I always put the family first, above my own needs. And she says, I'm proud. I'm proud of that. She says, I love you dearly, and I'm sorry that I had to let you go. I had to go. I didn't want to leave you. She also said she left Earth earlier than how long she thought she was going to live. She thought she would have lived longer than she did. And she's saying that she had an illness that took her by storm, came on suddenly, and did not give her much time for closure of everyone in the family, or to really get used to the idea that she was going to be going to God and transitioning. Do you understand this, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. She says, and she says it again, she apologizes to everyone because it was difficult for all of you. Really, really difficult. It's making me feel that sadness. She says, I'm sorry I left you alone like that. I left you in the lurch alone without family, without me, being your family.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think, but you must feel the gap in your life. And and she says, I'm so sorry, honey. She says, I try to come in and help you as much as I can now from the other side. She says, I try to come in and give you ideas about your future and what to do about yourself and your own life. She says, I know you miss talking to me and getting advice and, our little chatter that we would have in the kitchen sometimes, just talking over problems. She says, I know you need my love. You need my help. And she says, I'm here for you. Although I'm not in physical form, I do hear you. And I do attempt to answer you as best I can. She says, when little thoughts float into your head, that's me speaking to you, trying to give you advice as I would have if I was in the kitchen talking to you over a cup of tea or coffee. I'm going to get a little more detailed with that, Kita, because I think she's trying to show me something of how she can communicate better with you. I don't think I've hit it right yet. Hold on. Mom? I'm just trying to give you messages here and there around the house. I'm trying to write to you as best I can. And she actually says right on the walls of the house. So I have no idea what she means by that, but I'm going to say it because maybe it means something to you.
Okay.
So if you thought you saw something in the shadows on the walls, maybe you were wondering, did Mom do that? Mom's talking about leaving you messages around the house and writing on the walls. So look for that if you haven't seen anything or haven't gotten anything like that. Just look for that, okay, Kita?
Okay.
All right. Let me see if there's anything else she wants to say. Now, I keep getting the feeling of a male, but I don't get it that strongly. Like as if do you have a kid or she has a son, which would mean you have a brother. Or, hold on. There's somebody in spirit with her. That's a boy. Now, you haven't lost a child, have you, honey?
No.
Oh, thank goodness. There's a boy in spirit that's around Mom. Okay, I don't know who that is. Okay, she's telling me it's a family friend who lost their son, and that boy is with her. Now, I'm going to give you one or two things about that, and then I'm going to, let you go. If you don't remember who this is, that's fine. Maybe it will occur to you later. He had cancer. He had something in his abdomen, his stomach, and his lungs, whatever it was that went through his body. He didn't live very long after it was diagnosed, and he was rather young to have passed. And this is a friend of yours or a neighbor of yours or someone like that that's close to you, more so than close to her. And he's around her right now. He's in spirit with her. Do you have any recognition of that, sweetheart?
Not really. I mean, I have a couple of people in mind, but I don't really know them on a personal level, so I would have to do some investigating.
Okay. Okay. And I also, I also get the age of 18. They didn't live past that age. So, all right. I'm not going to say much about it right now because you don't remember, but I just want to acknowledge the message because Mom shows me this boy with her. Okay, honey. Thank you so much for calling in, and I'm going to let you go now. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, honey. God bless. Bye-bye.
You too.
Okay, I'm going to go to Kim, who, I'm going to go to Nathaniel for a moment because he's been waiting the longest, and then I'll go to Kim. Hello, Nathaniel. How are you this evening, honey? Where are you this evening? Nathaniel, are you there? Okay, I'll come back to him later, maybe. All right, let's go to Kim. Hey, Kim, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great, honey. What can I do for you this evening, love?
Well, I had a love question.
Okay, very good. Just give me the question. No background, okay?
It's a person I met recently, and I believe I have a past life with the person for me for the rest of my life.
Yeah. I do get a yes on that. I'm going to give you some evidence for confirmation. 1 second, please, Kim. This is for Kim 330. He's a good person. He's a very kind person. He's everything that you're thinking he is. He hasn't come in by accident. There was a synchronicity that brought him in. And this is one of the reasons why you feel it's a past life connection, immediate feeling of knowing and feeling comfortable and kind with him feeling his kindness. So those are some things to say that it felt like he came in by accident, but it seemed like a synchronicity. You know what I mean? Like it was unlikely that it would happen, but all things came together at the same moment. And it was like, how did this happen? And then immediately feeling that he's a caring and kind person, and you also felt comfortable around him when you first met him. Things have progressed very slowly from the beginning, but that is a good thing because it's allowed you to get to know him better and to trust him more. It will take a while before you fully do enter into a committed relationship. The reason is trust issues from the past on your part truly need to be worked out slowly over time. He comes in as a blessing for you to have a new beginning. Namaste. Does that make sense to you, please, Kim?
Yes, I've only had a conversation. He is about 13 years older than me. I do feel like he will call, but he hasn't yet.
Okay, so it's going to take a while, but there's also trust issues. You won't be immediately going into the next level with this person of a relationship because you need to test him. Not because he's not trustworthy, but because you need to learn how to let down some walls and some barriers that have been preventing you from getting intimately involved with anyone. And so that comes from trust issues, which from the last relationship or whatever it is, and they'll tell me if I want to know, I'm just not going to go there right now, but that you have you can have love, you will have love, and it will happen a little slowly over time. You'll be able to really fall in love again. And that's what I'm giving you in addition to the yes, to give you evidence. If that resonates for you, that's your confirmation. Does that resonate for you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So
yes, it does.
Okay. So he will be patient, develop the relationship slowly. Over time, it will form itself into something very beautiful and lovely. And with that, I'm going to let you go, Kim. Thank you very much for calling in, honey.
Thank you.
Thank you, love. Bye-bye. Oh, now I'm getting stuffed nose. Alrighty then. Tonight, when I try to close the lines or open them, it's taking a while. Okay, we've got Gigi, who joined our mailing list. Hey, Gigi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, darling. Thank you for joining the mailing list. And just give me a moment if anybody else would like to be in to win a psychic session with me. Just go to spiritmediumtv.com and join the mailing list. And you are only competing with those people that join during the month that you join. So tonight, my dear, you have a life question, as I understand it. Will you please give me that question and no background, and we'll get you an answer.
Okay. Well, my question is, I've been married for a couple years, and my husband and I have been trying for about a year to have a baby, and I was just wondering, do you see that happening anytime soon for us?
Okay. Not right away, but it will come eventually. There is a boy waiting to be born. You do need to still do some things to yourself to get ready for this. One of them is it feels like you're very stressed and or you're working hard and even though you want a child, it does feel like somehow or other your body is stressed out. Right? And that you need to, and I feel you're still working, you're not staying home at this point because you haven't had the child yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a long commute to work, isn't there?
Not as much, but it's definitely a stressful job.
Okay. And so they want you to know that until you can calm down, it's going to be a little difficult to conceive. And that's one of the reasons why it has been difficult, because it's affecting your hormone levels. And you have been doing things, I believe, to look into that, but it's not. You also need to look into relaxing more. So we need you to figure out a way, and we're going to help you. We are your divine beings, to find a way to rest and relax until you can get that until you get pregnant and get that maternity leave. So now it feels to me like you're doing something that has to do with case management, working with patients or in a healing capacity. What is it that you do, please, Gigi?
It kind of like managing accounts and stuff like that. So pretty close, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a little overwhelming. As you already said, it's stressful. So let me just see if they could give you a way to manage the stress better. Oh, you don't smoke, do you?
No.
Okay.
I don't drink. I don't really drink or smoke or anything.
Okay, let me see what you can do here. It's like one after the other comes at you, these clients, whatever they are, that need your help. You never have a moment to rest. You never have a moment to take a break. You're always busy. Looks like you're eating on the run, blah, 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 and you're not breathing deeply. As soon as you enter work, from that moment till you leave work, your oxygen never goes beyond the first level of your lungs. It stays, you're breathing at the top of your lungs, not deeper. So it's up to you to take a moment during the day to breathe deeply. Maybe what you can do to force yourself to relax is to walk away from your desk periodically, as if you were a smoker, for example, and just take a walk around the office, take a breather, literally. breathe deeply, and also walk around the office. Maybe go to the restroom, or I don't know, go somewhere else. You have to file something, make an excuse. That's one thing. You need to take more frequent breaks. And also, one other thing that could help, if you could do this in the morning, and I highly recommend it, is meditate. Okay. Because I was in a very stressful job in New York, and when I started to meditate during the day, everything sort of rolled off my back. Instead of me being reactive to things just whatever. They just kind of, just like I flowed along. Things didn't bother me as much. So get up a little bit earlier and take a moment. Take 10 to 15 minutes to meditate. If you don't have time to do that, I'm going to show you maybe just go into the bathroom, shut the door. Whatever it takes, but you do need that time to really truly meditate. And for everybody listening, this is the kind of meditation that is useful in stress-related situations. It's called mindfulness. And what you would do is focus on a part of your being, physical being. I studied with someone. He had me focus in on the feeling of my thumb on my left thigh. And just focus on that. And every time a thought came in my mind, I would just let it go and then go back to feeling my thumb on my thigh. It's not that interesting. You know what I mean? It's not very interesting. But what happened was it put me into a Zen-like state, because that is what Zen is about. It's mindfulness. And he had me start with 5 minutes. So you could start with 5 minutes in the morning. Then he had me expand it to 10 minutes. By the way, I thought he was a lunatic, this guy, because I went to him to discuss my problems, and all he did was teach me how to meditate. And funny thing about meditation is your problems start to disappear when you meditate. So that really worked for me. So, start with 5 minutes of focusing in on either your breathing or your thumb on your thigh, or the feeling of clothing on your skin, or the feeling of the air on your skin. And then and every time an intrusive thought comes in, say, "Thank you, thought, I'll get to you later," and let it go, and then go back to focusing. And it will train you to be less reactive and more in the moment, and things that used to bother you and upset you and jar your nerves will just go through you, and that should help a lot. That, and also going to your respective physician for your fertility things, whatever you're doing with that. But I do feel that the stress levels are affecting your ability to get pregnant as well.
Okay. Do you see a timeline at all, or just kind of let it go?
Well, right now, as it is now, it's at least 9 months before you could get pregnant. And if you don't do what I'm saying, it may be longer. It could be shorter if you do what I'm saying. Let's just look at that for a second. It could be shorter, maybe 6 months, 3 to 6 months, if you implement a systematic approach to being mindful and relaxed. I also feel that after work, if you could do something that releases tension, like walking or jogging or gym or whatever. Getting to the gym is hard, but maybe you could do some.
That helps.
Yeah, that'll help a lot also. So those 3 things: taking breaks during the day, breather breaks, literally breathing more and walking away from the desk. 2, mindful meditation in the morning, and 3, walking or some kind of physical activity in the evenings. And go to your doctor, make sure your hormones are fine. I don't think that you have a good balance of hormones right now. To be honest, when we're stressed, it affects our hormones. See? And so I see 3 to 6 months if you take care of yourself, 9 months or longer if you don't, but it will come to you eventually, and there is a boy waiting to be born. Okay, Gigi?
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, sure. My pleasure, love. Bye. Bye. Okay, I want to remind everybody that if you'd like a private session with me, just go to spiritmediumtv.com and you'll have a link to my booking page, or just go to booklaura.com and you'll be able to do that. And if you mention the radio show, you get a third more time included in that, or it's also the equivalent to a 25% discount. So that's booklaura.com, 25% discount, private session with me. Also, if you would like an ideal weight, ideal health, ideal money, medical intuitive session with me, do the same thing. Okay, so we're going to take another caller. Let's see who that is. Why is my nose all stuffed up? Oh, Debbie. We've got Debbie over here, has been waiting patiently. Hey, Debbie, how you doing?
Good. Hi. How are you, Laura?
I'm good, love. What can I do for you, honey?
I just want to find out what is going on in my life.
Okay.
Things have been all over the place.
Okay. Do you have please give me a specific question, and then I will answer it that way. It's much easier for me on the radio show.
Okay. Finances?
Yeah. Okay.
And work.
Yeah. Debbie, 609 area code. Finances, will they get better or worse? Yeah, they're going to get better over time. There's a lot of instability in the home and in your work life. It all seems to be happening at once. A lot of disruptions. You might even wonder sometimes, did somebody put a curse on me? But you're not that kind of person to think that way. But there's a lot of disruption. And I feel it's more than work. It looks like it's even in the home. A lot of instability there. A lot of change, a lot of moving around. The person that you're with seems to be very moody and changeable, and makes you feel sometimes like your whole life is on a sandbar, and if a wave comes in, everything could be wiped away. You're very insecure right now in many areas of your life. Things will change over time, and they will get better, not worse. But you do need to be willing to accept that everything that happens is only for highest good. Don't get negative about it, because as things are washed away, and they will be, that means that there will be some changes. You will find a new beginning coming. And don't forget that we have to shed a skin before we get a new skin, like a snake, or we have to shed the cocoon before we become the butterfly, right? But it looks to me like you're going to have some big changes in the home that will allow you to make some hard decisions for yourself. And one of them will be that I have to choose stability. I'm not going to allow anyone to upset me anymore. I'm not going to allow my life to be so up and down. I'm going to choose what I need to do and stop waiting for the other person to sober up or get his act together before I get my act together. So it's the focus on yourself is the answer for that to begin. Focus on yourself. Now, I'm not saying that relationship has to end. Okay, I'm just saying that you have to focus on yourself, and then everything else will fall into place. Because I don't want to say that. That's sad, and I don't think it's needed. I just think you need to focus on yourself and stop worrying about Mr. Who's-He Watts, because he's getting in the way of your progress. He's also upsetting you emotionally and mentally, so it's difficult for you to focus and concentrate on your work life to get
90 seconds
to get things the way you need them. We may get cut off, right? We may get cut off on the radio show. That's okay. I'll continue working with you. Okay. So I'm about to. Sure, honey. I'm about to sneeze. It didn't happen yet, but all of a sudden I feel like I'm getting a cold. Okay, stop that nose and please move me forward here. I'm trying to give the answer here to Debbie. So they want you to take control of your life.
60 seconds.
Okay. And then with that, making your decisions and saying to yourself, I'm not going to let this other person disturb me or upset me or rock the apple cart, so to speak. I'm just going to focus in on my job. And I'm going to do what my boss or manager says to do. I'm going to listen better, and I'm going to deliver better. I'm also going to document what I'm doing better so that nobody can say I didn't do what I was asked to do. Does that make sense to you, please?
I'm not sure, because I actually just started my job.
Okay. Now, did you have any problem in the past, or maybe so far? Because what I'm getting is that there's a lot of hearsay around your performance.
That's a possibility. I actually started last Wednesday was my first day, and there were people from corporate who actually were there, and they were questioning why I was there, because I wasn't fully trained. What was I doing on the floor?
Yeah. Okay. Because I feel that, especially since in your home there's instability, when you go into work, if it didn't happen yet, it's going to happen. That you're going to be asked to do something or several things, your responsibilities, and you're going to do what you thought you heard, and it's not going to be what they thought they told you to do. And part of it could be because you're in this upsetting home environment, which is making you, it's making you not, it's unsettling to you. So, right? So this is what I'm being told to tell you, is when you go to work and you're told to do something, find a way to reiterate it to the manager or document it back to the manager without being too obtrusive. You don't want to make a big point of this, but you need to create a paper trail of some sort or some kind of evidence-based thing here so that you're not misunderstanding and or your boss is not misunderstanding you, because that could happen there. Okay, that could happen there. Where you are is just another stressful place to work. Stressful, very fast-paced, and if you don't get it right the first time, they don't ask questions. Okay, they just cut you out. So be careful, because your home situation is very unsettled and unstable. So, okay, so if it's to be, it's up to you. If it's to be, it's up to me. You hear that saying. Keep your feet on the ground. Take time to breathe. If you could do meditation, that would also help. If everything I just said to Gigi holds for you in terms of relaxing. And the second, another thing I'm adding in is in your work, make sure you can document or somehow create a paper trail so that nobody can question what you did or why you did it, because there's going to be some kind of thing going on there where they're going to say, well, I didn't say for you to do that. And you're going to be like, but wait a minute, that's what I said. I heard you say that. And you know what? You're in such a stressful situation at home, you might not have heard things correctly. So just be very careful.
Okay. Now, and this is with the management, because I do skincare. I'm an esthetician.
Okay. Yeah, it could be with
with clients and.
Okay, it could be with the clients then. So maybe when they say that they want something, you need to restate it, or maybe, I don't know, they have a form that they're filling in and sign before they work with you? They do? Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, before you do anything, just always restate what it is. Be a little careful with that and make sure that you're all in agreement. Okay. Yeah. And you might want to say, okay, but what that means is I'm going to do this, this, and this to you, and this is the kind of results we're looking for. Is that what you're wanting? Just to make sure, because there could be misunderstanding, confusion because of the stress you're in at home. And that will cover that'll cover you, and everything will be just fine, and money will improve, and you will stay in this job for quite some time if you do what I'm saying, which I mention again, is it's very easy for you to misunderstand somebody when you're under a lot of stress at home.
Yeah, very true.
All right.
And it's the whole family unit. I have 2 sons and a husband, so.
Yeah. Well,
for the kids at this point.
Well, I get it mostly with the husband right now, and I think it's important, very important, that you be supported by me saying that to you. It is, because he's very disruptive to your health, to your sense of calm, to your well-being. I don't know. That's how I'm feeling it. And
is there anything regarding my health? Because I mean, I haven't been sleeping at night. Is there anything that I need to focus on? I mean, I know I need to incorporate more exercise into my life. And
it's mostly stress, because you're under a lot of stress. Okay. And the primary person that's causing the stress, believe it or not, is your spouse. And it's not because he means to, it's just that it feels like there's instability there. I don't know if you had a problem before where he didn't seem fully on board to be supportive of you, or what it is, but I feel like it's a person who sometimes you wonder if he is 100% supportive of the home, the family, and you in every single way. All right, and it's still there, and it eats away at you, honey, like oxygen eats up iron and makes rust. It's eating away at you. So be kind to yourself by first acknowledging it, and then second, doing the 3 things I told Gigi, and then one added thing. But make sure that you're talking to your clients and get agreement before you do anything. Read over their form. Be very, very careful, because there could be misunderstandings because you're under so much stress at home. Okay, sweetheart?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, Laura.
Thank you, honey. God bless. Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye.
Okay, everybody, I want to thank you all so much for calling in and watching, if you're watching, and I look forward to doing this again with you on Wednesday. Have a great evening. Bye.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.